Ganimal, what is that ridiculous thing on your head?
Well, Dirty Water John, I'll tell you. It's a hat that doesn't fit me because I have a big head.
You should try a Mammoth Premium Snapback hat. Starts 7 3/4, ends at 8 1/2. Let's try that out.
Oh, that's nice material, buddies.
And if you like how that fits you, you can check out their website at mammothheadwork.com, where there's an array of colors and styles to choose from. And if you find something you like, be sure to use promo code DIRTY10 to receive 10% off plus free shipping.
Whoa, that's excellent. That's a mammoth deal, bud.
That is a mammoth deal. All right, welcome back to another edition of Dive In Deep, the Dirty Water Boys. Yours truly, Dirty Water Don, and to my left, the Ganimal.
Hey, everybody, how you doing here?
And Ganimal, who do we have with us today?
Bill Hill.
Bill the Muscle Hill. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, sir. I really do appreciate you coming out in this shitty weather we're having away from the city.
Thanks for having me, but it's never going to stop raining, it seems.
So, yeah, right? It's like Tuesday is supposed to stop. It started on Friday or Thursday. It's ridiculous. But the older I get, the more I appreciate the rain.
That's all right. We'll have a drought warning next week anyway.
Yeah, I was standing by the window saying, we need
or
this
fires.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, you were a local boy.
I
You were
was.
born and raised in Newark?
Yep.
How was that? What's growing up in Newark?
I loved it. It was the greatest place in the world. I mean, I didn't know any better. You know.
Were you there during the riots?
I was.
My
I
mom
actually
and
have
family was.
Yeah. They lived in Newark?
Yep. My
Whereabouts?
grandfather, Paul Hedesheimer. My uncle.
North 5th Street.
Close. I grew up on North 12th.
Okay.
Did you know a man named Bucky? He pumped gas at the gas station over there. That was my uncle.
Okay.
He also ran numbers.
Which gas station?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, no, maybe not. But because I wasn't doing any driving, I was pretty little. But yeah, I was like 6 years old during the 67 riots. And I grew up 2 blocks the house from school stadium. And that's where they housed the National Guard. And we actually stood on the corner and watched a tank roll out and start heading
They had tanks there?
down
Yeah, they did.
Bloomfield
That's wild.
Avenue.
What?
Yep.
I knew they had a
Downtown
military
Newark.
presence. I just didn't know there was tanks.
Yeah. And a couple of my aunts were down there full time trying to find a military boyfriend.
All right.
hanging
Did they
around the
succeed?
decade. No.
No, they didn't get one.
Wasn't there a
never
famous
did, yeah.
picture of a mobster on the front of a tank with like a baseball bat or something?
It's probably Anthony Imperiale.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it. I'd love to see it.
Speaking of mobsters back then, my grandfather used to tell us a story, God rest his soul, that back then, during the riots, if you were friendly with certain people,
Yeah.
they'd come put a certain color paint on your door to let you know you're connected
Right.
and to fuck off.
Don't touch this house.
Yeah, yeah.
I never heard that.
It wouldn't be smart for you to come on this lawn.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And he was friends with a lot of people. And he said he got to have the mark on his door. And they ended up finally leaving and moving to North Arlington when my mother, when she was 6, 7 years old, entering, was it pre-K or first grade? Whatever the school was, she was being harassed in the cloak closet.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're finally like, okay, we need to get out of here.
Wow.
And like apparently they took over the school, and my uncle had to lower my aunt out of the window, and it was like they were like, all right, we're done here.
Yeah. Our mom was born in 59.
And they moved back. They moved to North Arlington,
Okay.
not too far.
Yeah.
So how does a boy from Newark, watching tanks coming down the road, decide or get into acting? Because you have a very extensive acting career. 84, I believe 84, 86. You have a lot of faces on film.
Yeah.
Quite a few.
I got out of school. It was 1981. But there was the grade school. It had a little like theater thing, but they did productions of plays. They didn't do many, but this guy from New York, his mother worked at the school. He came in. He was the director. He put it all together. The first production I didn't audition for. I wasn't in, but I saw it.
Okay.
I thought, wow, how fucking cool is this? Like, what a trip. And then the following year, they did another one. I auditioned, and I got cast in it, and I did it. And
You got that acting bug early.
yeah,
All right.
once I got in front of an audience, I was like, how cool would it be to do this?
Yeah, they pay me for this.
Yeah, exactly. I have to figure out.
So what was your first paying role?
The first paying was not a professional gig. I had done this summer show, and these 2 women that were in the cast had a business, sort of a greeting business, and they got hired to work this bachelor party. And I I was
This
like,
sounds funny.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it wasn't.
I wore a bow tie.
but they were hopeful, you know.
Yeah.
But it turned out to just. But it that's and I played like one of the groom or the best man or whatever.
Oh, the scene was of a bachelor party.
Right. It was like a sketch.
I thought you were performing
No.
for a bachelor
We
party.
were. It was an actual bachelor party.
Okay.
They hired to reenact some story from the groom's life. They hired these people and they put it together and they had me do it. I think I got $20 or
Listen,
something.
I was always told when I started diving, I was wondering how do you tell people you're a professional diver? And this old timer goes, "You got paid? Then you're a professional.
Yeah.
If you're paid for your services,
Yeah.
in that type of work, then that's what you are. You're a professional.
Yeah.
So we're gonna count that as your first professional gig.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah. First paying gig was on a soap opera.
Ooh,
One
which
of the
one?
one of the soaps. I believe it was As the World Turns.
Full disclosure, the only one I know is Days of Our Lives.
Okay.
That's all I know.
I played a character for years on All My Children.
Oh, I know that one too. All right,
Yeah.
I lied. I know that one.
I played the Pine Cone manager, the manager of the Pine Cone Motel.
Okay.
The show took place in Pine Valley,
Okay.
and the Pine Cone Motel was where people went to do things they shouldn't, get wasted or have an affair,
Mistress, yeah.
have a nervous breakdown.
I've never gone to a hotel for my nervous breakdowns. I usually rely on like ShopRite parking lot.
Right, because
Yeah.
they complain about the noise if you do it in a hotel.
Yeah, they
or
do.
a motel. It's-
Nowadays, you can yell in a parking lot and it's totally acceptable. It's fantastic. I can sit down and cry. It's great. So how was it working for a soap opera?
It's. I mean, I didn't know any. You know, it was like my
Yeah.
first job. I was so excited to be there. They were like, you know, you like chill out. But it was done on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
They did 1 hour episode, 1 hour episode every day. They shot it in an entire day. So whatever they're doing, I mean, it's super
Quick
super
turnaround.
fast. Yeah, and you have to be prepared to work, or they'll just sort of work around you and write you out. As they're doing it.
And how long did you say you were there for?
A couple years.
So you came to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't write you off.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
there's a thing about soap opera dialogue. It's impossible to learn because it isn't the way people talk. You know, it's just these like reams, and because they're trying to fill up an hour. So instead of saying "I'm fine," "How you doing," you'll go on and on for like a page and a half because they're
Just telling
trying-
someone how fine you are.
Yeah, and they're trying to fill time, and it's impossible. You know, it's no one speaks that way.
My wife does.
Yeah,
She can definitely fill an hour of telling me how I'm fucking something up.
she speaks in soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll tell me a roundabout way of we need waffles from the supermarket.
Right.
Also very Italian.
She is very Italian. Yeah. Actually, she yelled at me this morning on the way out. I don't know how you are with Italian women, but mine yell at me.
So
Yeah.
as soon as you get the soap opera, that started like the real bug of being on TV
Yeah.
and movies.
Yeah, and you know those things pay, especially at first. It's like, wow, this is a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, for a day's work. And then I just was around, and what I did mostly was there were a group of us that went to school together, and we had a little theater company downtown, down at West Beth, down on Bank Street in the West Village. And we just did plays and did plays and did plays, and people became successful writers, became successful actors out of it, and that's how you sort of became known. And
All right. Did
Yeah.
you ever go to Broadway?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've worked on Broadway. I was in the production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest,
Okay.
Steppenwolf Theater Company, from Chicago. Gary Sinise was McMurphy.
Like the Gary Sinise?
Yeah.
I loved him in Ransom.
Yeah.
Fuck Forrest Gump. Loved him
Yeah,
in Ransom.
he's a great guy. He's a really great guy. I did that. I did one of those Broadway national tours for 2 years.
And where does that take you? All over the country? The world?
Yeah, we did like 40 something cities.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're like a rambling man.
Yeah. It was it was great. And the money it never occurred to me I'd be paid that much money to do theater. Because it pays, but it's not. But you go out on the road and they want you to stay out there, so they
pay you for that.
exactly.
Now, and then you pay for like home and board, room and board?
No, they give you, in addition to your salary, this is what we were getting back then. This
Like
is
a per
20
diem?
20 years ago. I don't know what the per diem is now, but it was $770 a week, tax free. But you had to pay for your house, your hotel, and you had to eat. Everything else they took care of, and they also found you. There were 2 choices in each city of a place to stay.
They
Yeah.
offer craft services where you could take some extra bagels in the morning. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
they don't feed you at all. You got to.
Oh, you do it all yourself.
Right. Craft services is where you see the people like stuffing bags.
filling their pockets up.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of craft services, it's like off topic.
Why is the
You
big
were-
guy want to talk
you
about craft
were-
services?
You were in a movie, Cadillac Records.
Yes.
I cooked for Cadillac Records.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
You
in
did have craft
so
services
They,
at some
did,
point in
they
your
did some
career, yeah.
scenes in Harrison, New Jersey.
Yeah.
On Harrison Avenue, on the corner there.
Uh-huh.
My friends and I had the pizzeria diagonally across the street, and the guy who was in charge of craft services for that movie came in and asked us, "Hey, would you be willing to work with me on this movie while we're here?"
Right.
And I made like a big a 6-foot sandwich one night.
So you gave him
pizzas.
food poisoning. You
Yeah.
piece of shit.
We did a raw bar one night there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw Beyonce, Adrian Brody. It was pretty cool.
I worked on Norfolk Street downtown. There's that strip there that they had turned into, 1940s, 1950s, whatever it was.
Yeah, they were over there too. Yeah,
Yeah. It was
My
kind
buddy
of
did the cars for that. Movie Time Cars. He dropped
Yeah,
a
they
little cars
filmed,
for
they
that. and
filmed it in
filmed
this
it.
area.
Yeah.
But that was craft. Speaking of craft services,
You
Yeah.
know how hard it is to weasel in craft services to a comedy?
I-
You've been sitting there waiting patiently to say, I have cooked for you.
Do you still own the pizzeria?
No, it was a very short period, a blip in our lives.
Yeah.
That was a good time, though.
But what happened with the pizzeria was we
Taxes.
got it, and then a week or 2 later,
Yeah.
the market, the economy blew up. It was like around 08, 09, and the price of flour a week after we got the pizzeria like went up 25 times on us. So it would make to make a pie, it was like $3.
Yeah.
Then it was like $12 to make a pie.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
How do people like Pizza Hut survive that? I guess because it's just quantity.
They might have their people already.
Their flour guy.
Yeah, they have all that like.
Back to
Mapped
craft
out.
services.
They don't really use flour.
It's sawdust.
Yeah.
It's actually balsa wood. It's good for your teeth. It's delicious. So you were traveling the country,
Yeah.
living your best life.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
you
yeah.
married, kids?
No.
What's your
not
story?
married. Never been married.
Good. Don't
No.
do it.
Yeah. Well,
Especially an
bless.
Italian woman.
God
Don't do
bless.
it's the thing. To be able to do this, I mean, it's it's something's got to get sacrificed. I mean, people try and make it work, and I've seen it work, but it's
I have 5 kids.
holy shit. How old are you?
I'm 36. I only have one hobby.
Oh,
My couch pulls out.
yeah.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I keep it old school like that.
You know what I'm saying?
And
How old are your kids?
I have a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
Teresa. She's nonverbal autistic. She's a freaking hilarious riot.
Mike, 41.
Those maths aren't mathing. I have a 7-year-old Olivia. I have a 2-year-old Henry, and I have twin boys, Jude and Nunzio. That are 6 months old.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless you.
So it's funny, like you say, like it's hard to have that life and this life.
Yeah.
And I live up the block.
Yeah.
And I'm only gone. Like I don't stay after, hang out. Even when we were shooting the show for Discovery Channel, I didn't do a lot of let's hang out afterwards.
Right.
Because I get shit for it.
Yeah.
You know, reasonably so. She's not some crazy woman dealing with 5 kids. You need a lifeline.
Yeah.
So like I'll walk in, we'll tap out, I'll take over, and so it is difficult. So I
Yeah.
understand why certain people in this career choose not to, but I had my kids prior to doing it,
Right.
and if I could go back and do it all over again, I'd still have the kids.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no, but then I'm like, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I understand. So it's
You'd be living in the car.
And I had fun,
Yeah.
and I had fun doing it.
I had a great time doing it.
yeah.
Making kids is a great time. So you were just traveling, hanging out, no one to answer to.
Right.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Making money.
Yeah. I paid off. I bought an apartment. I bought an apartment on August 28th, 2001.
Okay.
2 weeks later was 9/11. And I just like turned over like every penny I had,
Yeah.
And I thought, what am I going to do? I can't put this back on the market,
Yeah.
I can't sell it now. I'm going to like lose my shirt. And not that I wouldn't have done it anyway, but
Yeah.
there was nothing going on in New York. Everything had gone to California. And this audition came up. It was the last minute also. They said, you want to go on a last minute audition today for the national tour of The Graduate? And I said, sure. I went in and
Let me check my
read.
schedule. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, I got enough money.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. But I went in and read, and I went back like a week later, and he cast me in it. I couldn't possibly have been more different than the guy that did it on Broadway. But I was beside myself. To get to do a play. When I dreamt of being an actor as a kid, it was doing theater.
Okay.
I wasn't doing TV and movies. So I thought, a shot to do a play for a year. The first contract is 1 year. And
Okay.
they go
How
on
long did you do it
hiatus.
for?
I did it for 2 years.
Okay.
But like a year and a half of work spread out over 2 years. There were like layoffs and hiatuses.
So you still had the apartment. We're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I didn't rent it out. I kept it because I just moved in. I didn't want my neighbors to hate me. Having
You still have it today?
Yeah,
Probably worth a fortune.
where I live now. Yeah,
Probably
It
worth
is.
a fortune.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a fortune, but it's worth a hell of a lot more than I paid for it.
All right.
Yeah,
I believe in the industry we call that a come up. All right. So you're
Yeah.
doing The Graduate. I saw, we were literally just watching before you got here, your scene from Gran Torino.
yeah,
First, I didn't realize that was you in that scene.
yeah.
So he's showing it to me. I'm looking like, holy shit, I love this scene.
Yeah.
I love when the co-star was talking about how they're fucking him over the car.
Transmission,
And you're like,
yeah.
I got my Tahoe.
But that's our industry. That's guys we meet every single time
that-
we work. Like
so
that,
you played it. We're recording in an old construction trailer.
Yeah.
We know construction. So when we watched it, we're like, yep,
That's
Yeah.
about right.
spot on.
Yeah. I have an uncle who said after it came out, he said to me one day, "Did you say Tahoe because you knew I had a Tahoe?"
Did you have a Tahoe?
Yeah.
Is that why you
no.
said it?
I said, no, I said it because that's what the writers wrote.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Because
What-
the writers know Chevys break down a lot. Yeah,
right.
I
And
get
you're
it.
not going to go in and just start ad-libbing.
So
Yeah,
with
what's
Clint
it like?
Eastwood.
What's it like sharing the screen with Clint Eastwood?
He's the coolest fucking guy. Like, he's got this sort of grumpy exterior, but we just basically sat. There's a lot of sitting in chairs waiting for them to get going, and I didn't push it. I didn't bring up my favorite Clint Eastwood movie.
Right.
We just started talking like we were equals, and I think that he appreciates
That's
that.
where his
'Cause
weight in
can you
gold is,
imagine
yeah.
the people
Yeah.
constantly like, could you say, go ahead, make my day, like, please, But anyway,
Right.
he was the sweetest guy. He was a good guy. Actually, speaking of strikes, there was a commercial strike going on, and we bonded over our intense dislike for at the time, president of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild.
Now that we're talking about strikes,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the strikes now?
I think it's long, especially the UAW one is long.
Oh, I was
overdue.
just watching that yesterday.
Yeah, it's
That's the what they're asking for, and people, there's a lot of negative feedback on it. But you got to remember, when it comes to negotiations, you ask for a lot more,
yeah,
and you settle for what you want.
right.
So the news coverage on it is like, oh, they want so much. No, they want what's fair, and to get that, they have to ask for the moon.
Right, and they're also trying to get caught up.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, they gave back a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and they never got any of it back. And they were told, no, we're broke. We can't do this. We can't do that. In the meantime, these people are making
Money hand over
shit
fist.
tons of money, the CEOs. So I'm all for it. And the SAG strike also is overdue.
Yes.
The streaming thing came along, and it's difficult to make a living doing that.
Yeah.
You could-
a
you
lot of people in this industry talk to about it.
You could guest star on one episode of Law and Order and make your insurance for 2 years. You have to work like a dog on Netflix to accumulate
Enough
the
hours.
$26,000 you need to earn to qualify for your insurance. And it isn't. It shouldn't be. It really shouldn't
you
be.
think about it as an outsider, not being part of that community, just like doing here and there little things, and you don't think about how people like that pay their benefits.
Right.
And that's a big one.
Yeah.
Because we take it for granted. We're dock bulgers in the city. We do our 250 hours, which isn't that difficult to get,
Right.
and we got our benefits for our families.
Yeah.
You talk about guys and girls that are working for Netflix, and they got to work how many countless days and hours just to do what one person can do, like you said, for one episode.
Right.
And then on top of it, now you're dealing with the AI, where you're competing with a software that can do a job and you don't have to pay it benefits.
Yeah.
Like, where do you draw that line of fairness?
Yep.
And it seems like it's coming to a head, and it seems like they're going to come to a good understanding and agreement.
There's
So I'm
news
told.
this morning that the writers have made a deal, but I don't. It doesn't. What's in it is yet to be seen. But,
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
yeah. But they seem pretty happy enough to present it, to the union members for them to vote on it. So we'll see. I mean, that'll start the ball rolling because they're losing money. They're losing a lot of
money.
It would be in their best interest to make a deal and not be insulting about it and have it go on.
And speaking of making deals, it seems like the big three, the car companies,
Yeah.
they're cool with missing the money. They're like, we're good with it.
Yeah.
They're laying off people who didn't strike.
Right, exactly. But
Like
that
what?
it's like it's a ploy, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to scare them, and that won't let that whole thing of like, well, I'm good, I got my money. That
Yeah.
won't last very long.
No.
You know, they'll start. What'll happen is the prices of cars is going to skyrocket.
Yep.
Used cars, just like during the pandemic.
Yep.
And then people won't be able to afford to buy a car, and then they'll have to.
Well, even the parts right now, like my truck has been held up for going on 3 weeks. I have a Ford pickup diesel,
yeah,
and I needed parts, and this is kind of putting a halt to getting parts.
yeah,
And I'm over here like, all right, let me know when the parts are in.
right,
Let these guys figure out their shit.
yeah,
I think all of America needs to get on board with that and say, listen, we're doing this for the greater good. If we have to wait a couple extra weeks for your car, then wait.
yeah,
Don't feed into their bullshit.
yeah.
But not to get off track, you were talking about SVU. You have eight appearances on the SVU?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
How was that? Did you ever
Yes.
play a rapist?
So no,
No.
no, I
Murderer? What'd you do?
you get put in these, like, depending on how you look.
Yeah.
Played a lot of cops,
you're-
lot of cops.
So you're never the villain.
yeah, no.
Aw,
never
that's no
never
fun.
the bad guy.
Aw.
I've been killed a bunch of times, but I never
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi has he's got the record for he's been killed like some phenomenal number
You
of
know
times.
Steve Buscemi?
From Boardwalk Empire. I mean, he's not a friend of mine, but we
You don't
work
hang out
together.
with him? You don't
Yeah.
like, you don't get
No,
coffee
he
together?
doesn't. No.
Oh.
But we worked together for a couple of years on Boardwalk Empire.
Because we had Bobby Burke on. I believe you guys worked on a couple things.
Yeah.
Maybe the same time, maybe not. But Bobby worked with Steve on a couple things. And then I saw your roster of people you worked with. And
Yeah.
I was like, John, this is my... By the way, we're blood brothers. I called John. I'm like, John, my man worked with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Like, I just
One step
want
closer, yeah.
I just want to hang out with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why. This has been my goal.
He is really the greatest guy.
He's a hard guy to get a hold of.
Yeah, I bet.
You can't message him on Instagram.
Well, that's the other thing is he works all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
he's everything.
yeah.
He's in comedies, dramas. He's
Well,
in
Steve,
everything.
if you're listening, we have one of your co-stars here. We would love to hang out with you.
Steve, come and see these guys.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the shout
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
So, hey, so you play a lot of cops. Never the bad guy. Now, Boardwalk Empire. You were killed off in Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Is that how many times have you been killed
what a
off?
great show.
It's a lot.
I just have that face.
Yeah.
Like you want to kill me
Well,
off.
Yeah, I mean, it like, remember the show Fringe?
Yeah.
Yes.
The very second episode, this girl shows up in a diner. She's distraught in Massachusetts, and they call the local sheriff to come and help her.
You the sheriff?
Yeah,
You
and
got
it
killed?
turns out that she's been exposed to like some phenomenal amount of radiation, and she just inexplicably like starts freaking out, and then everyone in the diner like starts bleeding from the eyes.
I remember.
Yeah.
Petrus Farms remembers.
So, and I slammed my head into a counter that had one of those spikes for dupes, for the checks
for
in
the
the
tickets.
kitchen. So I got one of those in like my ear.
Do you do your own stunts?
In that case, you do. But like in Boardwalk Empire, when I got I'm coming around a corner and this guy just like clocks me in the face with a bat or something. That's a stunt guy.
All right.
You're watching like.
That wasn't you.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's like throwing himself on the ground, and you're thinking,
You're like, I would never throw myself that hard on the ground.
can't take enough ibuprofen, man. I'm like,
How long does makeup take for something like that?
when I died, it a long time. They had to build a replica of my head. I had to sit in a chair while they just put plaster.
I wonder what happened to that replica.
The guy here, you want to hear?
We get it on eBay.
Hear how you can fucking do something stupid. The guy who did, he had to make 3 of them.
Okay.
Right, one for like just sort of banged up, and one brutally banged up, and then one backup. And
Okay.
he said, if we don't use the backup, you can have it. And I thought, and these things were, I got to show you the picture. They're incredible, like scary, and they look just like you. And I was like, excellent, give me the number. I never called the guy. And I ran into him years later on some other job, and I said, can I have that? He's like, it's all dried up, man.
I fucking have that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, sorry,
I
we
threw it
turned you
away.
into a sex doll.
You get on Amazon now for $40.
Right, cut a hole out in the mouth.
Why
Yeah.
is there no mouth in this mask? Long story. Here you go. Hey, Matt, do me a favor, bud. Get on eBay and see if we can find any of his heads for sale.
All right.
So, it turned to a
Excellent.
sex dolls in my head now. It ain't going nowhere. So we've lived rent free for 20 years.
I got a great sex doll story from being on the road. The Christmas party,
right.
Santa grab bag. Somebody puts a blow up doll in there.
Okay.
People are getting so drunk in this hotel, and party winds up in my room afterwards.
Whoa.
I wake up the next morning or afternoon, whatever, as the door is opening. And I come up, and it's the maid, and she's stepping in the room. And in between her and I on the floor is this a blow-up doll, inflated. Right? And she very quietly pulled the door shut.
Me scusi.
And I never saw her again.
So you didn't get the turn down service
She
that
didn't
day.
come to my room again. Yeah.
Jesus. You got some fucked up friends. I mean, my friends do the same thing, so don't worry about it. So you did a lot of acting. What is your favorite? What was your favorite role?
I really liked working on Boardwalk Empire, but my favorite role is probably going to be something in the theater. I did this play called On the Open Road years ago downtown for we weren't paid. That I did it with my friends. Probably that.
That one.
Yeah, this post-apocalyptic play about these characters trying to, survive and get to the new world. Yeah. But for TV and film, probably, obviously, working with Clint Eastwood was a lot of fun. Boardwalk Empire. My next job.
You have one coming up?
No.
Oh, whatever the next one's going to be.
Right, exactly. But your next one's always your favorite.
Do you have anything promising in the works coming up?
No, there's nothing. I'm in Bernstein. It was called Maestro.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Cooper is playing Leonard Bernstein.
Okay.
He also directed it. I'm seeing it on Thursday. It's coming out, I think, in November. But I did that before the strike.
That's
it.
right. It's a little difficult with the.
Yeah, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no communication at all about projects
All right.
upcoming.
Then I'll ask you the hard-hitting question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is your most craziest bathroom story? Now, you know, this story is brought to you by Dude Wipes.
Food wipes?
Yeah, I'll send you home with a pack. They're butthole wipes.
Yeah.
So the
You
slogan
can
I like
also
to
use
say,
them in other places, but
you can use them other places. Don't be a dick to your ass. Use a Dude Wipe.
Nice. I love that they're called. Do they smell like Axe body spray?
No, sir. No. They
No.
do have one now that smells like pumpkin spice.
Nice.
It's called the Blumpkin.
Yeah.
And
Do you I can't tell if this is a donut or.
yeah, this one is plant source fiber, free of fibers and dyes, and you could flush it. It's flushable. And
Okay. And this is your sponsor.
this is one of our sponsors, yes,
Okay.
Dude Wipes. So we like to push the narrative on that.
Yeah.
What's your worst bathroom story? Now, it could be yours, something you've witnessed, something you were a part of, or a friend told you.
The one it happened to me was in the middle of the night. I live in Astoria, Queens.
Okay.
Some underground transformer or whatever blew up and took out the electricity for the entire neighborhood.
Okay.
In the middle of the night. I woke up the next morning, went in the bathroom, peed, flushed the toilet, went to brush my teeth, and there was no water. And then I realized there was no power. The power was out. And I had to go to the bathroom after peeing. I'm thinking, what am I going to do?
What's your next step?
Yeah. Okay, I know what I'll do. I'll go around the corner to the diner. And then I'm thinking, yeah, and so is everybody else. and I live in a 15-story building.
Is it a walk-up or elevator?
It's elevator, but
Okay.
not today.
Power's out.
Yeah,
Got it.
exactly. So there's no running water either. They get the water up. There's a pump
pumps,
that does it. Yeah. So I'm out in the hallway, and my next door neighbor, who has since passed away, and I said, I have to go to the bathroom. And he said, get a garbage bag and just line the inside of the toilet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, I'm actually listening to this guy.
Doesn't
saying
sound that
this.
crazy.
Right. No, I mean, but, 10 minutes later, I'm, here I am, a grown man, and I'm shitting in a bag,
All right. But at that moment, a dude wipe would have helped you. Not with the water or the toilet, but made you feel fresh
I
after
did-
your
yeah.
dirty little deed.
Yeah. Duty fresh.
So what
Yeah.
did you do with the bag?
That's the thing. You tie it
15th
up.
floor out the window.
No, I tied up, and then I didn't want to keep it in the apartment, so I just dropped it down the garbage chute. But but it was tied. It was tied. Like,
You're an
it was
asshole.
but it was sealed and tied. But
Did you double bag it?
then and
right.
I'm thinking, but like, so is everybody else. Like,
Because the neighbors walk around telling everybody.
The poor maintenance guy is
Shit in a bag.
downstairs, just
Right.
so happened to moving the garbage can and hits him in the
right?
head.
Or the guy
Everyone
that
thinks
takes
of
care the
Paul
bag.
Revere as being a national hero
Yeah.
for giving the warning. No, as your neighbor. He's running around shit in the bag. One bag for one, 2 bags for 2.
Yeah, and this is like it was like a day and a half, maybe 2 days
Of people shitting in
of
bags.
no electricity, and eventually even the little old lady's going to have to go to the bathroom. What do
No,
you?
she shit in the litter box.
And it was my understanding the diner I wanted to go to
Big cat.
had like a barricade built outside the
bathroom?
little thing for the bathroom, saying like, we don't care if you spent money here, you cannot use the bathroom.
So even if I bought a big stack of pancakes, I can't use the bathroom.
Right. Because there were people by the hundreds. New York City.
Yeah,
like-
I would. If I was the diner, I'd say a $25 minimum of purchase. Not a coffee.
Right.
Fuck you, coffee.
And you have to
Yeah.
buy a cup of coffee too, which is $15.
Yes, you can buy coffee and pancakes.
Yeah.
Then I'll consider
Letting
using the
yeah.
bathroom. It's
by,
a
the
lottery.
way, by the way, our bathroom's out. You got to shit in a bag here.
Right.
Yeah. What?
They
Exactly.
give you a bag. Thank God they still have bags back then. Imagine they got rid of the shopping bags for that. Think about how many people shit in a bag and tossed it down. That poor maintenance guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you gonna do. You told me that you had 2 stories. I got time. What's the second one?
This second one is.
Did it involve the blow up doll?
Say again?
Did it involve the blow up doll?
No.
My blow up doll shit. It was so weird.
It didn't. It didn't involve garbage bags either. Working in a restaurant, setting up this owned by this truly horrible woman.
That's how you really feel.
That really just loved firing people. Like she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this waiter shows up hammered, and it wasn't the first time, or he would get hammered during the shift. And so we're trying to cover for him. The place isn't open yet. We're setting up, but we just know it's just a matter of time before she sees that he's drunk and either fires him or he's like unable to function. So then he disappeared. The restaurant opens, there's a couple of tables. Some customer goes up to the owner and says, I tried to go into the bathroom and one of your staff is in there. And the bathroom was a solo. You go in, you lock the door, and then he didn't lock the door. So he's sitting on the toilet with his pants down around his ankles, passed out. She goes in, she starts screaming at him, and apparently, I didn't see what happened, but she apparently grabbed him by his arm to try to stand him up or to get him out of there. And as he went to stand up, he just started like
Kidding.
everywhere.
I don't know necessarily if a dude wipe would have helped him.
Maybe it would have helped her.
A couple. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple.
Pack.
Yeah, whole pack in there. Wow, that one's.
Restaurant emptied out. People were just like, they grabbed their shit and just left. And
I hope he grabbed his shit and left.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He left.
She got somebody from the kitchen to clean it up.
That's fucked up. Did he get
Yeah.
fired?
Oh yeah,
You never know. You got to ask.
yeah, right. As
So
long as you can
promotion
work,
wasn't.
right. As long as you can work Sunday brunch.
Yeah, you're
you can
good. We're
still
fine.
work
I'll
here.
forget about this.
Yeah, we don't care about the shit.
Imagine the surprise on her look, because she was probably mad, yelling, snarling.
Yeah.
You piece of shit! How dare you?
Right.
Grabs him. He's like,
Literally
whatever.
a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. With her in her French accent.
And she was French. That's best.
yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
I love the fact that she had an accent.
The French,
Yeah, yeah.
ass- the
French
French,
accent,
assholes,
yeah.
Her name was Monique.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She sounds like a bitch.
Yeah. Really unpleasant woman.
All right. Those are great stories.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Back on track.
Okay.
So there is no smashed head of Bill on eBay at all.
No.
Not at all.
Gotta find this.
Yeah, we gotta find this.
Yeah.
We gotta find it and then raffle it off.
The
He's like, I'm gonna find it.
We keep talking. I don't want to stop your show.
No worries. So now your what is your least favorite role you have done? Where someone there, you don't have to name any names, but if you did, much cooler, who just rubbed you the wrong way, and
Yeah.
you're like, this shit is not worth it.
I did a production of a play out of town. Play I dreamt of doing since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And one of the other actors in it was truly just the biggest asshole. And you're out there, you sign a contract, you're stuck, you got to do it for 2 months.
Is this a well-known actor?
No.
Just some jerk off.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of known.
Monique's husband.
Yeah,
Yeah, Monique's husband. Yeah.
definitely a French
He
guy.
was an American guy.
Oh.
She married an American guy.
Get her
Monique.
card. Makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it all makes sense. So you did out there. He was just unbearable.
Yeah, absolutely, truly, and it's not it's okay if you're an asshole as long as you're good when we're doing the work,
That's me.
But he was bad then too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about him made him bad? What was he doing?
He was an arrogant. Somebody told him he was talented, and he took it to heart.
Probably his
and-
mom.
And probably his mom.
You ever seen those memes? It's like a plumbing company saying #1 plumber reference owner and owner's mom. I love that sticker. My mom says I'm handsome.
Yeah.
My mom told me I'm worth more than this. Pay me more.
So were you? So you said that you had a party in your hotel room one time. Were you the party guy on all your or
No, it just
happened to be?
There was the Christmas party was in somebody else's room, and then it was time to go to bed. There, crew people and stuff are wanting to go to bed, so it wound up in my room. But I wasn't.
You're not known for
the
that.
party
not known
guy.
for being
Yeah,
a party
I
guy?
was playing one of the dads in the show, so I mean, there were younger people that were like the party people. Yeah, I would like you'd lose me about halfway through the night.
That's why they left the fucking doll there for you.
Yeah, 'cause-
You passed that, and they're like,
I
enjoy
didn't-
this.
I didn't choose the doll out of the grab bag, so whoever
chose you.
did obviously didn't love it because they just left it in my room.
Or they did love it and they left it. You know what I'm saying? What happened to the doll?
I don't
Did
know.
you leave it there?
I didn't. I may have brought it to the. I don't know. I gave it to somebody.
Oh, the whole morning was fuzzy. I don't know what happened.
It was pretty classic. I felt sorry for her. She was like, "What am I stepping into here?" Like, this. Like,
I thought you meant sorry for this blow up doll, not the
No.
maid. I felt sorry for this blow up doll.
No.
Really had a rough night.
No, I felt sorry for the. Here we go. Here is.
Oh, so you
This
have
is-
the picture?
This is the makeup. But if you flip this way, yeah, you'll get to the head.
Oh, wow. I see the bust.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to find these busts. I mean, I don't think they throw them out.
It's some kind of rubber that like dries up after a while.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We gotta go to HBO's warehouses.
Yeah, do they have one?
The
Maybe at the bottom of the East River.
probably.
This is where it is. You know how fucking creepy that would be?
That'd be awesome.
Oh, my
So
God.
down, like Jesus Christ, is that Bill Hill's head?
Bill, why are you down here? That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Diving in the East River, I'll tell you what, when you're digging in the mud, as a father, this is the key part of this. You have to have children or be around children. You grab a coconut. There is an obnoxious amount of coconuts in the bottom of the East River.
Why?
I believe it's because migrant workers come up and down on the boats, and they drink the coconut water and they toss the coconut in.
So
They're done
and
with
these are still that high up on the surface that you find
No,
them.
They go to the bottom. They
Yeah.
sink. They fill it with water, and eventually.
But I mean, like because you're not.
Yeah.
Wow.
They'll be like about a foot in to 6 inches in the soot. We dig down 3-4 feet. So you find stuff all the time. So
You think of the East River though as like 1 year, 5 years later, like
no,
that
because
it's
they
just-
dredge a lot too.
Yeah.
They do a lot of dredging. The current's moving
And
so
the
much.
current's really fast.
Ripping. So it's always turning up. The boat traffic.
It's an estuary, not really a river.
Oh, excuse
So the
me,
whole-
Bill Nye.
The whole thing moves, not just the surface.
You correct Bill again, I'm going to smack you. Sorry, Bill. Sorry. So you grab a coconut and it feels like a baby skull underwater. And you're like, oh, please, Jesus, don't be. It's the worst. I always tell people that when we're working down there and we find stuff in the river, that is the worst thing
Yeah.
because it could be.
Yeah.
So you got to check.
Yeah, you're like, hey, look, it's Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did find, we found parts. You find more parts than you do whole bodies because,
Yeah.
like I said, the boat traffic. So people that fall in or get dumped or whatever reason, it's not my business.
Yeah, I mean, like you
Not
think
my
of,
problem.
Like the people, like I just flashed on Spalding Gray. You know who he is? He was a writer, and he just he lived down in Soho. Was just sort of a famous like monologue guy. He just got on the Staten Island ferry one day and jumped off, and they never found him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, wow.
So you come across a lot of parts more than full bodies.
Yeah.
And it's just, I was told by an old timer when we first started doing this kind of work, you come across a chain link fence rolled up with a tarp, leave it, it's there for a
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, exactly.
Apparently what they'd do was they'd put you in a chain link fence, they put you in a tarp, bang, whack you, whatever they gotta do, you're in a carpet, whatever. Then they wrap you in a chain link fence.
Right.
And they throw you in.
Like a burrito.
Yep. So the
Yeah.
crabs can get in, but they can't get out. And they'll just eat and eat and eat. and eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's better, I guess, to live in Russia where you just fall out of a window.
Yeah, it's I guess.
They don't
eat
like
by
wrap
crabs.
you. Yeah.
But yeah, the river bottom has a lot of cool stuff, but the coconuts, man, they fuck with your head.
Yeah.
But I will look for the bust of your head. Maybe it's in there. I know we got
Yeah.
this topic, but
Yeah.
I can't believe you missed that opportunity.
Yeah,
That'd be
it
a
was,
cool shelf
It was
piece.
pretty stupid. I just let it go. I really regretted it too when I ran into him.
You can't
but-
make another one?
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. I can imagine what they paid him
Very
to do
pricey.
it. Yeah,
So Boardwalk Empire, you were on there for season 1 and 2.
season 1 and 2, and they did 5, I think, or 4.
Why did they kill you off?
Those characters. There were 4 ward bosses.
Yeah.
When we were shooting the pilot, we were standing around, on the sidewalk waiting to be called, and one of the guys said, "Okay, which one of us is going to be the first ones to get killed?" And 2 of us did, and the other 2 they just
Ran out.
they just sort of disappeared. The show like went in a different direction, but it was pretty obvious that's what we were there for.
Yeah, you're there to get whacked.
Like, yeah.
Wasn't the ward boss the guy who was also on House of Cards, who played like that reporter that was having an affair with the Frank's wife, the blonde hair guy? I think he was on Boardwalk Empire also.
He may. I'm sure he probably was.
He had
but
that weird laugh
yeah.
on the Boardwalk Empire
Oh.
with the slick.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He's a great guy.
Yeah, good actor.
The hell's his name?
Matt, what's his name? Working on it.
Yeah, he was great on House of Cards.
yeah, I love
Um,
that show too.
I was
That was
really
great.
hoping you were wrong.
yeah, that was
He's very good with this about like who's on what and everything.
Yeah.
I was hoping he's wrong with this one, and as soon as you agreed with him, I'm like, damn it.
yeah,
He's very
He-
informed.
yeah. I did do
Paul
one.
Sparks.
Paul
in
Sparks.
the
That's it.
first season. Who?
Paul Sparks.
Great stage actor too. Yeah, he's a good guy.
So how did you for Boardwalk Empire? Did you seek them out, or did they seek you out for that?
No,
role?
you have your agent. You have an agent. They submit you, but in the case of this, the casting person is just someone that is I was in things that she had cast over the years,
All right.
and she's Martin Scorsese's casting director. I went in and read for it. It was put on tape,
Okay.
and then it came up that
You got it.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
I want
yeah.
a big role. That's a big role. I want a big
Yeah.
role.
And it's timepiece, so you're wearing all those old clothes.
Yeah.
And
You didn't
Clothes-
keep any of that clothes? Did you keep any of the clothes?
No,
Nothing?
that stuff was all made from scratch.
You didn't like, yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, you could like. Do I have anything? I usually try to take one thing.
That's
from
what
each.
Bobby Burke was telling us. He
Yeah.
takes one thing off a couple actors we've talked to.
Yeah.
All take like a trophy, like a serial killer. So what's your favorite trophy you got?
I took a. I played. Martin Scorsese directed this they called it an industrial, but it was really like a 7-minute commercial
Okay.
for Cava sparkling wine. And we're reenacting, the whole thing is a reenactment of various moments in Hitchcock movies.
Okay.
And I'm playing, what the hell is his name? The conductor that wrote all the music, but he was also in a lot of the Hitchcock films. And I trained, and when we shot it, I was in front of a live orchestra. I mean, you talk about like
The power.
adrenaline, man.
The power of
Like,
running
you
everybody.
could see my heartbeat.
That's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you're up there, like I have no idea what I'm doing. These people, there was like 50 of them, like just looking to me to lead
Talk
them.
about arrogance.
Yeah.
Those
He's
people.
like, more cello.
right. But I have the baton and the book. It's one of my favorite. I've never.
You jacked that, huh?
I should.
My man.
The guy who coached me took it and gave it to me. Sent it to me.
Oh, I don't know that
Yeah.
counts. I want to
Yeah.
know what you took.
And I did this Irish play called The Seafarer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're obviously drinking heavily throughout the entire play.
All props, of course.
Yeah, and they had these blue cans of Harp from Ireland.
Yeah.
I've never been to Ireland, but Harp beer in Ireland comes in these beautiful blue cans instead of like the orange ones that.
We get here.
And I nailed one of those.
Nice. See,
But
that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
I like to hear. The guy who played on Sons of Anarchy, the lead guy who played Jax Teller, he stole the motorcycle. Talk about blazing,
Yeah,
right?
that's a
Like,
little
I'm just gonna get this. I'm bringing it to the car wash. I'll be right back. And just takes the
Yeah.
whole fucking bike.
I didn't let you guys know I'm a felon.
Yeah. Congratulations, I got
Yeah.
the bike. Like I would love to be able to get on set somewhere and just get some big ticket item.
Yeah.
Like did Christian Bale take a Batman helmet? Like
Right.
who takes what?
Yeah.
There has to be crazy stories on that end.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But also, what can you admit
But
to?
on big movies, they have people who specifically watch that stuff. Like they're in charge of the scene and they're in charge
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like all the props and stuff.
I worked on this movie called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Great movie.
At the very
McConaughey.
end. Okay.
Love that movie.
I'm playing, they're at this like gala thing at some museum. I'm playing like the manager, and she's wearing this necklace that's worth a lot of money, and she leaves, and I come running out, and Matthew McConaughey and her having this fight, and I interrupt and say, just please give me back and we're rehearsing it.
I
Okay.
remember that scene. Yes.
Okay, so we're rehearsing it, and it's rehearsing it. We got the thing, and then we're getting ready to do it. They go, and she gets dressed, and she comes out, and like we're actually it's time to film it, and suddenly it's a different necklace. And I said, it even felt different, and suddenly there were 4 guys like standing in the periphery, and I said to the director, I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Oh, that necklace is worth $6 million."
So the prop one, and then they switched it out to the real one.
When the camera, yeah, exactly. So I kept saying to the one guy, like, "What if I just ran, man?"
You can't catch this.
Yeah,
I'm a track star.
Yeah, and he was like, "One of us would have to shoot you."
Wow.
They're all like,
It's like-
we're all packing.
Yeah, it's
Your
only-
life's not worth $6 million.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like getting shot, so
I mean, for 6 million, I think
At
I'll
least
take a
for
bullet.
6 million.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
a bullet for that.
yeah.
Might have got more roles though if you got shot.
Yeah. They might not have hired him. They might have been like a blacklist.
Yeah.
This guy steals props.
Sticky fingers.
The guy with the limp. Yeah,
What happened to you? Matt McConaughey
shot
beat the
in
shit
the
out of
knee.
me, and I got shot. So the orchestrating wand, I guess is what you call it. That's your most prized cop, and then the beer can.
I mean, it's that I can remember. Yeah,
gotta work on something
there's
bigger,
other,
buddy.
Other stuff
Like your next role,
yeah.
I'm gonna follow you now. I'm
We
gonna
could be
follow
your
shit.
bodyguards on your
Yeah.
next role.
Okay,
I'll come
and
in with
you
that.
guys will steal something.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we'll on your behalf.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll just sort of we'll go in and I'll just point at
So
stuff.
you got carry a little post-it and like
Right.
this
Mine. It'll
on
say.
the end table. Yeah, that's a big end table. It's solid oak.
First
Figure it
day,
out.
First day, director's like, whoever's putting post notes on everything, please stop it.
Exactly.
I always
Yeah.
wanted to get one of those on the sets. Is it true they have those chairs with your name on it? Do you ever get one of those?
Yeah.
Do you ever take the chairs?
Yeah, you can keep the
back thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have that. They won't let you have the chair. I mean, they'll sell it to you probably.
Sons
but,
of bitches. All about
yeah,
money,
'cause
man.
Then they have to buy more.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about throwing his shit down a hole. Poor garbage man.
Yeah.
Well, what time is it? What time is it?
1 o'clock.
All right, a little more stack. All right. I don't have my phone on me. Throw me my phone. You fucking dickhead.
Nice.
Are we going to edit this or leave this in? We should leave this in.
Is that the?
I got the question. I'll ready, Stack? So you've done a lot of work on Broadway. You've done a lot of work method acting, if you will.
Yeah, I've been on Broadway two times.
Well,
I don't want to miss. Like,
Yeah. What do you guys?
I'm a veteran. Yeah.
Well,
no,
2 more times than us.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You might as well be 100 more times than me. So you've done live like that, and then you've done major motion pictures.
Yep.
What are like the main differences? Is there any similarities?
Tons. I mean, the way that you approach a role is pretty similar. The way you execute it is a whole nother story. If you're like somebody who works on stage, you sort of get to experience the entire experience of the character in one shot.
Yeah.
If you're working on a film or a TV project, Tuesday you might be getting ready to walk through a door, and Friday morning you actually come through the door. It's like all chopped
So you
up
see it.
and-
You see it through on live stage,
Right,
And,
and
you
it-
really
it-
get to embrace the act
Yeah.
of who you're working with.
It's
The other
it's-
one's kind of broken up.
Yeah, it's much more rewarding on stage. Also because you're in front of the audience in the moment as it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
When you see something, you see yourself in something that's really good, but you're not there when people are experiencing it. They're watching it on a TV in their home, or they're watching it in a theater. In the theater, you get to be there and experience it with them.
Did you
As it's
over the years?
happening.
Do you accumulate any groupies because of this? You can tell us. We won't tell nobody.
I mean, you mean like, yeah, I mean, no, not really.
How about any stalkers? Do you have any like
yeah. Any stalkers?
people want to wear your skin to the birthday party or something?
No.
Would you like one? I'll stalk
No,
you.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I did a play with a guy who pretended to have a stalker. How sad is that?
Hold on.
That same production where my
That the jerk off worked on.
yeah, exactly. The other guy in the cast.
So 2 jerk offs, 1 show.
well,
Got it.
yeah, right. So
All
we
right.
get all the jerk offs out of the way.
Yeah, in one shot. All right.
Hopefully
And then
there
there's
won't
that
be any
one
more.
female, but she got shit on, so we're cool.
Yeah.
So you had this guy pretended to have a stalker.
He did. He said he's gonna fucking watch this. I know it. But
I love that for
I
us.
just, he said my stalkers, and I was like, what do you stalker? She's in the front row and blah blah blah. So you go out and I look and there's a lady, and then she came back like 2 other nights, and she was sitting dead in the front row where he would be. But then a couple of days later, he like called her parents and said, "Your daughter's there," and I was like, "You know this girl,
He's not a
motherfucker.
stalker.
It's like your
If you
stalker.
just called
It's
their
just-
parents.
You're talking to her parents.
Was this
Like,
guy Jesse Smollett?
Didn't he make
No.
the whole thing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's
The guy who claimed he went out one night like 2 in the morning for a
Chicago,
footlong
yeah.
sandwich, and 2 Trump supporters beat the shit out of
Oh.
him and dumped bleach on him.
And
In
put a
Chicago.
noose around his neck.
yeah.
Yeah.
It turned out it was all fake.
yeah.
He hired these 2 guys
And
to do
no
it.
one, everyone was cool with it. They're like, he's an actor, whatever.
Right.
It's the whole concept to me is how the American populace just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
It did, but it finished him though. He's
I
not.
think he worked after.
Is he? Yeah.
He might have got removed from the show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Or
sure.
fired.
Is he
I'm
still
sure.
Matt? Is he still working? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. But the thing, people like will stop me, but they're not. They're most of the time they're not sure why they know me.
Like, hey, you with the face.
He's not.
I know you.
Where? Yeah. I mean, here's my favorite story. My sister was having surgery on her hand. I took her to this place. I was going to bring her home after. So as they go in, they said it's going to be like 2 hours. I'm watching the TV. This guy sits directly across from me, and he's obviously staring at me. And at first, I'm just, and I don't think anything like he recognized. I just thought this guy's weird.
Yeah.
So finally, I looked at him and I said, "How you doing?" And he said, "Did you go to such and such high school?" And I said, "No." He said, "Do you live in?" We were in like Perth Amboy, South Amboy, something. I said, "No." He said, "Where do I know you from?" And I said, "Well, I'm an actor, and sometimes I work on TV. Maybe it was from that." And he went, Yeah, okay. And he got up and moved.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like when my favorite recognizing story. We're at a high school, and a principal walks up and looks at John, and she goes, "I know you from somewhere." We were doing public speaking event for the kids.
Yeah.
He's like, "I know you from somewhere," and I'm not missing a beat. I go, "Do you watch gay porn?" And she goes, "Not gay." And I was like, "Oh, I got nothing. Bravo,
Yeah,
you got me."
Good.
And I'm like, what kind of school are we in right now?
Yeah.
What kind of principal are you? It was one of my favorite. If I'm really feeling really low about myself, like I'm feeling down in the dumps, I go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
I get recognized in every Home Depot I go in.
For,
For sewer divers. Dirty water
Nice.
done. I'm like, hey.
Nice.
I feel better when I go home to my shit life.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's weird getting recognized. So you don't have any stalkers, none that you know of.
No.
We need to get you some.
Yeah.
We got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least 2.
You got to get the stalker numbers.
Yeah, I get the
up.
stalkers numbers
Yeah.
up.
That's because that's a lot of fun.
That's it.
I mean, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're.
We got Cortez go and ride his bike around his. Like,
Yeah, and just yell at them.
yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
sit out in front of my building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hand you dude wipes.
Or ask my neighbors, like, is Bill home?
Hey, have you
Yeah.
seen Bill? I got
Wha-
these, I got these trash bags for him.
He's
And
like, every Monday afternoon.
He went to the store to get some garbage bags.
Every
I'll be right
Monday
back.
afternoon, there's a bag full of shit in my mailbox. I don't understand.
We remember Bill. You know, there's going to be some guy who worked your building back then going, "That son of a bitch."
I never brought, but I can imagine the things, because again, it was like 2 days and
Yeah.
like what you can't.
How many people in that building are regulars?
And that's
you know?
15 stories. I mean, it's a lot of apartments. Like,
That's
Yeah.
crazy. People don't understand the value of power. Like, if power went down.
Oh, no,
across
I
the-
understand the power.
If it went down,
and a functioning toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if power went out for like 3 or 4 days across the country, it would be mayhem.
Yep.
Absolute
Please not give anyone
mayhem.
ideas.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible. So stalker numbers are low. We need we need more fan base for you, bud, to come out there and go to these shows and make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
All right? Yeah. So if anyone listening, we got to figure out your next play you're doing and just go out there in droves.
Right. Sit in the front like this.
Yeah,
like
be
this
real
lady
creepy.
did, and just turn out to be a friend. But I'll be saying, like, my stalker, she might have a gun. Yeah.
He's not a real stalker unless you're afraid for your well-being. I need you to be afraid.
Yeah.
So if that
exactly.
guy's calling her parents,
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
afraid.
On the phone, and I called him on it. I was like, motherfucker, you know, it's like her mother and father.
Is it an
Like,
ex-girlfriend?
it's not a fucking stalker. I don't
Did
know.
they
I mean,
date?
at
They're
that
romantic?
point, he never brought it up again.
Because you shot him in the foot.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with you socially. I think you'd be fun at the bar. What, you hang out in Queens a lot? We'll go out and drink.
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring the blow-up doll.
There's you ever in there? I'm right near I'm not far from Kaufman Studios.
I do a lot of work on the river right there.
Okay.
I'll pull up on the boat and come get you.
Like the what's the fucking deal? So you guys have a boat? Seriously?
Yeah, we
like,
borrow it. It's not ours. The
Okay.
best boat is your friend's boat.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
We're working on
That-
it. We're working on getting
Yeah,
our
we're
boat.
gonna-
That's
our
an
boat.
understatement,
Yeah.
right? Like
So we've been shooting a lot of content with the boats, and we've been really blessed. A friend of ours, Randy King, the Randall, he owns Madeline Marine Services. He does boat and barge rental and marine construction. So we've been really blessed with him, and I'll just call him and be like, "Hey, need to borrow a boat,"
Yeah.
and he'll be like, "What are you doing? And who's on it?" Because depending on who I'm with, it depending on how nice the boat is.
Yeah.
Like I did work with CBS News. So CBS was coming out with us, and he gave us a really nice boat, like fucking top of the line boat.
Yeah.
Right. And then I did work with who's the Germans?
Yeah.
I don't remember their names.
The
German
Germans.
company came out and they gave us like a shitty boat. So I mean, the bigger the name, the nicer the boat.
Yeah.
So if you want to see how people feel about
Yeah, we
your
went out
boat,
with the Diesel Brothers on a
We'll get the
2-day
nice boat.
expedition. We had the giant Pelican boat. It was cool.
it was an old World War II, I think, landing craft that was reconfigured for scientific research,
Yeah.
and we used that boat, full galley, full sleeping quarters,
Jesus.
absolute gorgeous boat. It's like a
Yeah.
$3 million boat. We had that out there doing dumb shit on it.
Yeah.
The being that you played a lot of cops, right? Have you got attention from actual law enforcement? Like, hey, we love you on this.
Yeah. They recognize you. Yeah. I also had a cop like go ballistic on me on the street. When you're playing a cop and you're wearing a police officer's uniform, you're supposed to, like, when you're not acting, turn the hat around, like turn, like just like
Look disheveled.
yes, so that you can do, if the hat's, because a police officer should never
Yeah.
turn their hat around, so it makes it clear that
That makes no sense.
okay, but
If
here,
I was on the street, like that cop's drinking.
exactly,
Where'd you hear this
that's
from?
average.
That cop who yelled at you?
It's this thing on a set. They tell
Okay,
you,
all right.
like
I'll
when they
tell
say
you.
cut, turn your hat around. And but in this case, though, this cop came up and he started yelling at me. You're not doing. You need to do the right. You're not. And like standing next to me was Ice-T, who's a great guy. But that year, or the year before, his song "Cop Killer" came out.
Okay.
And this guy was like, "Ice Man,
You're the jerk off for not turning your hat around.
yeah. And Ice is the hero, the guy who is he's a great guy. But even he was laughing at how ridiculous it was. Like he had the song "Cop Killer" and I was
And you're the bad guy.
making police look bad.
That was for SVU.
yeah,
those Ice-T?
probably. Yeah, or, yeah.
We saw those guys a lot working on Pier 40.
You're 40.
Pier 40. I guess one of the reading studios for the scripts was on Pier 40 for
Yeah.
those guys.
23rd and
Chelsea Pierce.
Chelsea Pierce. Yeah.
That was where I met
Guy from Blacklist,
Blacklist.
James Spader.
James Spader. Someone kept going on my radio because you're diving. You have a radio box.
Yeah.
And you're tethered, and they can talk to each other. So someone kept telling me, "Hey, I'm taking a cigarette." I'm like, "Okay." I thought it was one of my coworkers. I'm like, all right, whatever. And then this went on for like a couple months. We were diving there every day, Monday through Friday. And finally, I came out of the water, and there was a carton of cigarettes with my gear. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, it wasn't any of you guys. You're all scumbags.
Yeah.
You'd never buy these for me. The guy's like, oh, it's that guy with the hat. He has a hat on. I'm like, a hard hat? Like, no, like a hat. Lo and behold, it was James Spader.
Yeah.
He was coming by after they were reading their scripts. He was on Blacklist, and they were doing the same studio space, I guess, as SVU.
There's a bunch of studios there.
Yeah, and
they
he would come out and take a
used to do
cigarette from
Spin
me.
City there and
Vince, is that still
He
on?
was on Spit City, too.
Who was?
yeah.
You were on Spin City? Get around.
Yeah.
You're like a whore.
I've been around a long time. That's the
I want to make that an audio clip.
See,
Yeah.
I was looking at your IMDb and all that stuff, and I saw in the very beginning, the very bottom, it said you were something on a Honey, I Blew Up the Kids or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You were I forget what word they used.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Is it a crew? Because there sometimes there might be one or two things in there that I didn't actually do
They do that?
by accident, and they get corrected, and then stuff that you really did do will get taken out. I mean, it's just like a database. So
So do you have control what's listed on there?
no,
No.
I can change the picture or change the bio, or I can
Yeah.
put my highlight reel up there. But in terms of the list, no.
Maybe if you have some free time, we'll take a photo together, and then you make that the photo on your IMDb page.
Okay.
Just for a day.
Yeah.
Just so I can screenshot it.
Loop Group?
Show the kids, they love that kind of stuff.
The productions put the information in.
Loop Group, it's called. On Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know what that means.
Looping is a post-production recording thing, recording dialogue.
Loop
Or-
Group,
So
yeah.
maybe you were doing like voice
HBO
over that?
Family, 1989, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
No?
Nah, not me.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's what confused me. I'm like,
But feel free to send the check, though.
I believe you HBO owes me some royalties.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I really do appreciate you coming out to us.
This is great, guys.
We gotta get a
time.
photo so you can put it on your IMDb for
Okay.
24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
And
do it.
all-
And if
Autograph
I
on board.
ever get IMDb, if I ever get blessed to get there, I will for 24 hours have that photo up.
I'll put it up and leave it up in one of the
That's gangster as
other
fuck.
ones. Yeah.
I'll just leave it up. Well, thank you for coming out for us.
Yeah.
Really do appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having
thank
me.
you, Bill.